Welcome into WagerTalk TV. I am Drew Martin, joined by Brian Leonard and Kevin Dolan of WagerTalk.com, and we are talking Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, versus North Carolina, the Tar Heels here, 3:30 Eastern Time on Saturday. Kevin, it's the Irish. We got to go to the Irish guy first. What are you thinking here, Notre Dame and North Carolina?
Well, look, it definitely hasn't been the greatest of seasons up to this point for the Irish. Not just in college football either. Ireland missing out on yet another World Cup in soccer in November. But, that aside, I don't think anyone's seen the upset against Marshall 2 weeks ago. At least I didn't, especially over the last 5 minutes of that game as well, where, that Irish defence, just looked cooked, looked exhausted. We talked about the Ohio State game a few weeks ago on these panel videos, and my play on that one was on the first half under in that game. I like the full game under as well in that one, as I just expected the Irish defence to show up and kind of surprise a lot of people. People who were talking about this, juggernaut Buckeyes offense pre-game, how it was going to roll straight over the Irish in that one, but Notre Dame delivered, gave up just 7 total points to Ohio State in the first half of that game. But nevertheless, you'd have to say they haven't looked quite as impressive since that first half against the Buckeyes, especially in that Marshall game, as we mentioned 2 weeks ago. So, the one thing you can say, I would imagine categorically about this Notre Dame team is that they play better on the road than they do at home. 4-0 on the road last season, 4-0 on the road in 2020 as well. There are only 2 regular season losses over the last 2 years coming at home. So the Irish are 28-1 ATS in the last 29 road games, 8-0 ATS in the last 8 road games versus a team with a winning overall record as well. So, get this team out of Indiana and they're actually a serious force in college football. So overall, I'm kind of torn on the side here. North Carolina have had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. I was impressed with their win against Georgia State 2 weeks ago as well. Even though they didn't cover, a game where turnovers, probably made the final score look a little bit tighter than it should have been. In fairness, the Tar Heels absolutely, tore the Panthers, up through the air in that one. 11.8 yards per pass attempt through the air, almost 300 total passing yards. As well in that one through the air against a team in Georgia State who, don't just go by the overall record 0-3 this year. They are a bit of an undervalued commodity. So, yeah, from a side perspective, I'm going to steer away from this one. Both teams have the talent to obviously show up and win here on Saturday, but I'm going to go back to the well on this Notre Dame defense, showing up on this one on the road. And with North Carolina having 2 weeks to prepare as well, I believe they can do the same here. So under 59 for me, Drew, here in Chapel Hill this weekend between the Irish and the Tar Heels.
Okay, good stuff from Kevin Dolan. Brian, coming to you next. We're seeing UNC -2 here. However, it does need to be brought up. 20-2 record. That's Notre Dame, 20 wins. UNC only 2 wins in this series. They'll be playing for the 23rd time, however, since 1949. So not sure, a lot of those wins are from a heck of a long time ago, Brian. But Notre Dame's dominated the series. What do you think it happens in Chapel Hill on Saturday?
Yeah, those games were so long ago. I wasn't even born in that case. I'm not sure Dave Coken was born at that point. So, that's a long time ago. I'm torn in this game. I really don't want to put my faith in either one of these teams. I haven't seen enough out of them that makes me want to bet them. North Carolina ranks 112th against FBS opposition, allowing 6.82 yards per play. But they are going against the Notre Dame team, who's got a lousy quarterback and have done nothing offensively. North Carolina can move the football. The Irish can't. So normally I would take a look at the North Carolina side, but even though the Irish wasn't impressive on the scoreboard last week, if you break down the games from the advanced stats, they look pretty good. As Kevin mentioned, the defense looked really good. Still have major concerns about this Irish offense. North Carolina's defense is so bad. It's just tough for me to get behind either one of these teams. The best part about being a gambler is we don't have to bet every game on the board, and I just can't find an edge in this one. So hopefully we can look back and try to gain something for the future out of this one. But I can't trust either one of these teams right now, so I'll be passing.
He's Brian Leonard. We heard from Kevin Dolan as well. Check them both out at WagerTalk.com. And a good day to do so is Tuesdays, $2 Tuesday Top handicappers, top play, discounted to just $2. Check it out, WagerTalk.com.